Let me ask you a question real fast.
Here we go.
Should submission be a standard in a relationship?
It depends.
I'm listening.
I think it's what am I submitting to? I think submission is I don't want to say, oh my God, I don't want to say it's dependent, but it is dependent, right? Like, what if this person does not have the leadership skills? What if he's not demonstrating the qualities of someone who's deserving of that submission, right? Do you think it should be automatic in a relationship where you just automatically just submit?
You asking me that question?
I'm asking you now.
I'm going to tell you I agree with you. And normally I don't, but I do.
Okay.
And the reason why I agree with you is because I do believe for a woman to feel comfortable submitting, and we got to, like I tell you, the word submission means the willingness to allow to lead.
Right.
So she has to be willing to. But in order for a woman to allow you to lead, she got to make sure that you're not going to lead her to the gates of hell.
Right.
So therefore, in reality, a man has to show that he has the qualities, the character, and the ability to lead for a woman to say, you know what? I feel comfortable with knowing that you got us.
You got us.
You know what I'm saying? And I think to be in the passenger seat car and imagine falling asleep with a person that you can't drive.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be comfortable riding in a car in a passenger seat with somebody that I don't think can drive.
That's what I think. I think a woman she wants to feel that security and that safety with the person that she's with, to be able to say, you know what? I feel comfortable just letting my guards down because I know he has it. I think if you don't feel that, then you're going to always have your guards up, in a sense.
Yes.
You know, that's in my opinion.
What you're saying makes a lot of sense. I'm going to be honest with you. But I'm going to ask you, so here's my question. Why do they have that discernment? And I'm asking women, I'm asking you as a woman, why do they have that discernment with men as far as leadership, but they don't have that discernment as far as sleeping with them? That's just my question.
You're right.
So what do you think? I'm not saying you, I'm just speaking in general. Thank you.
I don't know. I can't speak for those women. I think that you should have that discernment, but for both, you know? So to the women who don't, then that's question for them to answer.
This I agree.
You know, I don't.
Because I do feel like the ultimate submission a woman can do is lay there and give her prize up to him. And when she submits to him and give him her prize, and then she questions him as a man, which is crazy, the ultimate submission after that is giving him a child.
Right.
So it's like, damn, you went all the way to like say, you know, now I'm gonna question you as a leader, like, which is kind of crazy. Like, you know, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we should have that same discernment before we get in bed with somebody.
Why do you think that people are sleeping together so quickly now, though? Why do you think that? Because I think it's on a man and a woman. It's taking accountability. She's not sleeping with herself. You're not sleeping with yourself. So the same way she didn't have that discernment, you didn't either.
Yes.
So why do you think some people come together and they don't value that, or they don't look at that as, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't look at that as like, let's just use a big deal. I can't think of the word right now. That's not a big deal, but everything else I care about.
I think, look, if you take a puzzle piece, you turn it 360 different ways. At the end of the day, the puzzle piece that's not meant to fit ain't gonna fit. I think the reason why people tend to overly value trying to get into relationships is because this is broken people who haven't learned how to love or appreciate or respect themselves. So with that being said, it's like, you're not happy with yourself, so you're looking for something to make you feel happy when you should be happy with yourself.
And you think for most people that's sex?
Yes, I think sex is a part of it because their connection in the moment makes them feel significant. A woman being humped on feels like I'm being loved. A man being humping on a woman feels like he's the man. So it gives both people a false sense of security.
Yeah, that's
it's like
a good
both
point.
people. She might be feeling like again, if I'm just speaking for a woman in my opinion, right? A woman, I feel like when a man is humping on her, she feels like she's really loved, and he loves her because in most cases, I don't know no man that's saying while he's having sex with her, I'm gonna treat you like dirt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cheat all over you. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
No, he's telling her all the.
So it's a moment of passion.
Yes.
So we're both
Yes.
really kind of embedded in this.
Yes.
I agree. So I had switching the topic a little bit. I have a friend who, as we always talk about the dating world on here, guys. So I have a friend who met a guy and he wanted to take her out. They met. So he, kind of bagged her up, I guess.
Yeah.
Exchanged numbers.
Yeah.
They were texting. They hadn't met. And he said, hey, what are you doing this Friday? They probably knew each other for less than a week.
Okay.
She's like, okay, I'm free this Friday. What would you like to do? He's like, I would love to take you out. What time? They set up a time. So he's like, just send me your address and I'll pick you up.
All right.
And she was like, I don't really feel comfortable sending you my address on a first date. I'd rather us meet.
I like that.
But he went off. His thing is what do you mean? I'm a man. Get out of your masculine energy and let me be a man and let me pick you up, and kind of arguing with her. And she was questioning herself. So I said, I mean, you came in the picture, Q. I was like, see, these are the things that Q said that we ignore red flags, because she started questioning her no to him. And it's like, well, should I let him pick me up? I'm like, absolutely not. You don't know him. And what if the first date doesn't go well? Now he knows he can knock on your door when you ghosting him. Why would I want you to come pick me up on the first date? And what does that have to do with a woman being masculine by her saying no? It's more of a comfort level. I'm not telling you you'll never be able to pick me up, but this is the first time that we're going to be seeing each other. Why can't we meet? And his thing was, well, the whole purpose is for me picking you up and us driving together and talking. She's like, but we could talk when we get there. What's...
I agree.
But he was so adamant on that it turned her off. And he actually said to her, I don't even know why I'm doing this. You make me feel like I just need to dead this. And all because she didn't want him to pick her up.
You know how you women say it's giving? Mm-hmm. It's giving controlling. And not only is it giving controlling, it's giving projecting, meaning some level of experience that he experienced, he's projecting from his previous experiences. Because I don't think that would have made me feel any type of way. I would have saw more independent, where she was like, you know what? She gave a valid reason into why. She said, I just want to make sure I don't just give my home address. It would have made me feel like, yo, this girl is intentional.
Right.
So therefore, she don't want any and every man to know where she lives.
Right.
You have to earn certain entries into her life. That's how I would have taken it. But again, it's also given that he's insecure. So it's written all over all the signs is there, right?
But I feel like wanting that access without putting in any kind of work on a first date, that's so, I don't know. That's just a little audacious. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that I would ever give someone my address on a first date or on a second date or a third date. We live in dangerous times.
100%.
And for a man to say, get out of your masculine energy because she didn't want to give the address and saying I'll just rather dead this, is so because you want to be a man and you're from the old school, but this is my comfort level. How are you not? I think that's just a major red flag. But she was questioning herself, well, should I have just given the address? And I'm like, no, you don't know him. And if he's being this overly aggressive before you even have the first date, then that's kind of showing you a little bit into his personality and who he is, his character. Is you're pushing yourself to know where I live when I don't even know you. That's weird.
I think what made me, or someone said totally overanalyzing it. Only reason why I am overanalyzing it is because of the aggression that came behind her saying, I'll just meet you there. And then her valid point to saying it.
About it.
Yes, if that was my child or my sister or my mother and she was dating, I would definitely feel comfortable with her saying, right? I would feel definitely comfortable with her saying, you know, yo, I told you I would rather meet you at the place. She didn't say she wasn't coming.
Right.
She just said, I want to make sure before I invite you into my personal space and let you know where I personally live at.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're going somewhere. And I don't see nothing wrong with that at all. Not even a little bit.
You're right, Ritual. She did see the red flags and got out of there, but she was questioning herself. She was a little apprehensive and she didn't know oh my God, is this a thing? Am I being masculine? I'm like, no, you're being cautious. Yes. And just because you didn't attract him, now you gotta, get rid of those to attract the right one. Get out of here.
I do believe that a lot of times, desperation allows us create a situation where we lower our standards. And I do see a lot of people in desperation, they lower their standards. I'm happy that she actually stood to her standards.
Yeah.
And that to me, that's a fair standard. I don't see as a man why you would get offended by that statement. I think that's fair. Like I told you, I'm very fair. If it makes sense, it makes sense. That's a fair standard to stand on, and she stood on it, and I respect it. But I'm happy that she didn't give in and say, you know what, come. Because I'm going to be honest with you, at that moment, he might realize that he can keep overstepping his boundaries.
Right.
He can overstep his boundaries, especially he's making her making her uncomfortable to make him uncomfortable. And that's usually come with a level of narcissism in itself, where a person, you have to lower your comfort in order to make them extremely comfortable. That's kind of crazy right there.
But doing that before
especially so
first
early.
date,